Hey there, Mr. Sutton here, bringing you the IM323 Extra Practice Number 4 solutions on factoring trinomials of the simple variety with a equals 1. So this one's got a puzzle that goes with it. Let's take a look at that puzzle. So here's the puzzle. It's one of those did you hear about sorts of puzzles where it's going to come up with some kind of witty phrase or question that I guess is interesting. There's a hint here too. It's about a kitty cat apparently. So the mechanics of this thing is we have to do these problems A through P. I'm not sure why the numbers are letters, but whatever. Once you do one of these, take a look over, for the ones on the left here, you have to look at this left column of answers, and whatever answer you've got, put the word under that answer in the space with the letter that the problem was. So for example, if you do A and you find that it's T minus 4, T plus 5, I don't know if it is. It probably isn't. But then you would put Army under A. All right, so that's how the mechanics work. Let's go and see what we've got here. So for our opening problem, since we have just A equals 1, we can use the kind of reasoning where we ask what multiplies to the constant but also adds up to that middle coefficient. So in this case, we're looking for factors of negative 10 that add up to 3. All right, well, let's see here. I think if we had negative 2 and positive 5, that would do the job. So we have t minus 2, t plus 5, multiplies to negative 10, adds up to 3. And then looking for that over on the left side, I see that right here we have a t plus 5, t minus 2. So it's okay if the parentheses are in a different order. It's still the same stuff. So we'll put a the under A. On this next one, we're looking for factors of negative 21 that add up to 4. So let me think. 1 and 21 won't work. 3 and 7 could work if I have negative 3 and positive 7. So we'll do t minus 3, t plus 7. And then I have a t plus 7, t minus 3 right here. So we'll use cat as our B answer. And again, this is a clue. The clue was about a kitty cat, so I guess that makes sense that that would show up at some point in the problem. Now for this one, I want factors of negative 6 that add up to 5. 1 and 6. If I had negative 1 and positive 6, that would do it. So we'll do t minus 1, t plus 6. And do I see those two somewhere up here? Well, here's t plus 6, t minus 1, so that works. So we'll put who in our C box. For question D, we're looking for factors of negative 8 that add up to negative 2. 1 and 8 won't do it. 2 and 4 would work if I had a positive 2 and a negative 4. So t plus 2, t minus 4. And looks like I can find that, let me think here, where is it? Right here, minus 4 plus 2, there we go. So we'll put joined in the spot D. On this one, we're looking for factors of negative 11 that add up to negative 10. So really not a lot to choose from here. We've got 1 and 11, some combination there. If I want to get a negative 10, I need to have a positive 1 and a negative 11 so that I get a negative when I add these. So we'll use t plus 1 and then t minus 11. And scanning my list here, I see that all the way down at the bottom, t minus 11, t plus 1. So for E, we're using the. For problem F, I'm looking for factors of negative 12 that add up to 4. So 1 and 12 doesn't work. How about 2 and 8, or 2 and 6 rather? I think that could work if I have a negative 2 and a positive 6. So let's use t minus 2 and t plus 6. And that is pretty early on in our list, t plus 6, t minus 2. So we're going to use red in that F spot. For problem G, we're looking for factors of negative 20 that add up to negative 8. 1 and 20 doesn't work. How about 2 and 10? If I have a positive 2 and a negative 10, I could add up to negative 8. So let's do t plus 2, t minus 10. Going through my list, I see a t minus 10, t plus 2 right there. So cross is the word I'm using for this one. And here we go with the final problem on the left column of problems. So these answers, there's one that'll work for this and none of the others that we do after this. So this time around, I'm looking for factors of negative 72 that add up to, this is a negative 1 right here, negative 1t. So, 72's got a lot of factors. We've got 1 and 72, which definitely won't get us there. 2 and 36, nope. I think 3 goes into 72, 14 times, but you could use a calculator if you want. 3 and 14, I can't get a 1 out of that. Let's see, 4 into 72, I think, let's see. So actually, it was 3 times 24, not 14. But now 4 and 18 multiplies to 72. That doesn't add up to 1. How about 6? 6 and 12, still not going to work. 8 goes into 72 9 times. 8 and 9, I can get a 1 out of that if I have a positive 8 and a negative 9. So I'll have t plus 8, t minus 9. And then that's this one right here, because. So looking at our first 8 words, did you hear about the cat who joined the Red Cross because? So that seems like an intelligible sort of sentence thus far. Let's keep going and see what the second half of this has. All right, so this is our first problem of the last problem set of 8. Notice that we've got 8, or not 8, more, completely different answer choices over here. So let's sort this one out. This time around, we're looking for factors of negative 18 that add up to 3. 1 and 18, nope. How about 2 and 9? Still can't get a 3 out of that. 3 and 6, though, will work. Negative 3, positive 6. So let's do x. We're using x's now. X minus 3, x plus 6. And then looking over here for those two things, here's an x plus 6, but I don't have the minus 3 to go with it. Here it is, right below, x plus 6, x minus 3. So the I is actually going to be an it. For the second problem in this set here, we're looking for factors of negative 18 that add up to negative 17. This will be a quick one here. So 1 and 18, I can get a 17 out of that if I do positive 1 and negative 18. So x plus 1, x minus 18. And those two things are up here at the very top with wanted, so that's going in my J box. On this next one, I'm looking for factors of negative 24 that add up to 5. 1 and 24, nope. 2 and 12 doesn't work. 3 and 8, that'll get me a 5 if I have negative 3 and positive 8, and that would multiply to a negative. So we'll have x plus 3, or x minus 3 rather, x plus 8. And then I see those two things right here, so 2 is what we're putting there. For this next one, we've got negative 24 again for factors, but this time around they need to add up to negative 10. So this time around, if I have 2 and 12, that'll work out if I have a positive 2 and a negative 12. So x plus 2, x minus 12. Looking for that in my list, I see x minus 12, x plus 2 right here, so it's going to be B. For this problem, and I think the ones after it as well, we've got a y just randomly thrown in there that we have to kind of take into account when we're doing this. The reasoning is still going to be the same, though. We're looking for numbers that multiply to this last coefficient and add up to the middle coefficient. So in this case, I want factors of negative 15 that add up to 2. 1 and 15 won't work. 3 and 5 is the only other option, and that'll work if I have a negative 3 and a positive 5. But I also have to take into account this y. So now I'm going to have x minus 3y, and then x plus, and now we're going to have a 5y in there. So let's see, what does that match up with? Looks like I've got both of those items right here, so that's just A. It's a word, but it's also a letter. On the next problem, I'm looking for factors of negative 50 that add up to negative 5. Let's see here. 1 and 50 won't work. 2 and 25 doesn't work. 5 and 10, well, I can get a 5 out of that. If I want a negative 5, I need a positive 5 and a negative 10 that are getting added together. So we'll do x plus 5y and x minus 10y. And those two things are down here, minus 10 plus 5, yep. So we're going to put first in space n. For problem O, I want factors of negative 36 that add up to negative 9. 1 and 36, nope. How about 2 and 18? Can't get a 9 out of that. 3 and 12, possibly. So if I have positive 3 and negative 12, that adds up to negative 9, multiplies to negative 36. So then let's go with x plus 3y, because we have those y's in there to deal with, and then x minus 12y. And if I look in my list of answers, I see that stuff, 3y and a minus 12y right there. So we've got aid, first aid. I guess that kind of makes sense. And now finally we come to problem P, the very last word in this phrase. So now we're looking for factors of negative 36, just like before, but now they have to add up to 5. So 1 and 36, nope. 2 and 18, nope. 3 and 12, can't get a 5 out of that. 4 and 9, I think I could get a 5 out of that. If I had negative 4, positive 9, that adds up to 5 and multiplies to negative 36. So let's then do x plus 4y, or x minus 4y rather. It's got to be a smaller negative. And then x plus 9y. Looking for that in my answers, it looks like I've got 9y minus 4y up here with kit. So let me make my last word then, kit. All right, let's go ahead and solve our puzzle. Again, the question was, did you hear about? So we've got a question here. We want to hear about a kitty cat. So we've got the cat who joined the Red Cross because it wanted to be a first aid kit. Oh, I see. We've got a play on words with kit. All right, very clever. Till next time, this is Mr. Sutton signing off. Meow.